What sort of edge do you think CBSE as a syllabus has over the others that are in the market?
The learning goals have to be very, very clear. All the students who've gone abroad, are they not doing well? They're by and large from CBSE schools.
Hi, welcome to Yellow Slate, your very own school search engine that helps you find the best schools for your kid based on various filters and parameters. Today, we have Ms. Dhriti Malhotra, who's the Director Principal of Manav Rachna International Schools in Sector 46, Gurugram. Let's speak to her and understand her perspectives about the syllabus and other apprehensions that a parent usually have while joining their kid in a school. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for giving us your time. Ma'am, the general apprehension that a lot of parents have these days is whether they're choosing the right syllabus for their kid or not. And since Manav Rachna is following the CBSE syllabus, what sort of edge do you think CBSE as a syllabus has over the others that are in the market?
See, again, I think the learning goals are what the ultimate aim is, right? Be it a CBSE curriculum or an ICSE curriculum or an IGCSE or an IB. The learning goals have to be very, very clear. And I think for all the programs that are running around, that is one thing which is very, very strong in each one of them. CBSE definitely being a national board and catering to masses, if I may say so, also brings with it a lot of learning in the sense that because it has to cater to schools which are in the rural areas also and in the cities also. So keeping that in mind, their learning goals are very clear, which are again set by the NCERT, and there's a lot of clarity as to what has to be done when. And now, with the new age, innovative, ways of teaching coming in, I'm so happy that CBSE is at par with the international curriculums. I personally feel that. Why? Because I have been a part of an IB school too, and I have seen the progress or the graph that goes up as far as CBSE is also concerned. And again, if we go by what the masses say, the CBSE curriculum is what is the benchmark for all competitive exams. Even though an IGCSE or an ICSE or an IB student will also do equally well. But again, CBSE is considered to be for masses, where we have in the gambit almost more than 4,000 schools all over India and abroad too. We are very popular abroad too, especially in the Middle East. So CBSE has its own edge, definitely, and the other curriculums are equally good, I would say.
Got it. And ma'am, for those students who have started their education in a particular curriculum and wants to shift from that to the other one, what sort of advice would you give? Would you recommend them to continue with the same one, or is it okay to shift these syllabus in between?
There are so many choices, and again, as I said, each curriculum has its own benchmarks, its own learning goals, which are universal, right? So a child, all the students who've gone abroad, are they not doing well? They're by and large from CBSE schools, right? So a child moving from one board to the other, it does not matter. It does not matter at all. They will be able to cope up. They will be. As I said again, CBSE has brought in a lot of changes in the curriculum. The way the delivery is different, the content is being upgraded, there's so much of technology that is now being used. So it is at par. So if a child wishes to move from an IB to a CBSE or a CBSE to an ICSE, it does not make any difference.
Got it. And the learning goals wouldn't be complete without full cooperation and the teacher being on the same lines of what the management wants. So in this case, since you are in a position to have teachers, to hire teachers and take a call on them, what sort of virtues do you usually look out for in a teacher before having them on board?
See, again, COVID has brought in a lot of changes, right? Suddenly, maybe the country would have been 15 years from now, we were there very, very soon. And let me tell you, the teacher community, it was the most challenging time. Why? Because suddenly from a physical school, they had to shift to a virtual school. a virtual school, getting into a virtual school, getting to know the integrities and nitty-gritties of the virtual school. I think it just took us maybe a week's training for all the teachers, and there we were, ready, dot on time to start with our school. If it was 3rd April we had to start, we started on 3rd April. So teachers now, of course, and if you ask me, when we are hiring also, we definitely look into this aspect also, that how tech savvy you are, because again, what happens 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, anybody's guess. I mean, there might be a time when children are not carrying books at all.
Got it. And speaking about the technology, ma'am, it's going to play a very huge role in this entire learning journey of a kid.
Yes.
And at Manav, Rachna, how do you blend technology into this journey and make it seamless for a student?
See, again, technology is now integrated in anything and everything that the child does. The classrooms are all highly equipped with all that the children need. So if it's a book on one side, it's a technology on the other side, supporting each other. So that has made a lot of difference, And I mean, the content is amazing content on the net too, where again, we move accordingly whenever the require time. I mean, whatever you require at any time is available there. And of course, we have our own excellence team, academic excellence team, which keeps on working on the curriculum. It keeps on upgrading it. What is obsolete is removed, what is required. So what we call the 21st century skills are what now the children are into. I mean, you ask them. I think the little ones handle the technology better than probably us.
Got it.
So this is playing a big role, a very important role in the learning teaching process. Yes.
And ma'am, especially in this day and age where parents are no more looking for only co-curricular activities or only academic excellence, they want the best of both the worlds. And at Manav, Rachna, how are you balancing it out? How do you cater to both these two spectrums and make find balance between scholastic and co-scholastic activities in the school?
See what happens is, again, the learning is kind of divided into 7 learning areas. Yeah. So if it is a visual and a performing art, for example, if it's a visual and performing art, there is a certain guideline how it has to be taken. But when it is supported with a lot of activities, with a lot of performances, with a lot of videos, with a lot of visuals, it takes a different meaning altogether. So keeping all these 7 areas, be it sports, be it CREST, we have a beautiful program running, CREST, wherein we do a lot of science and social science through that subject, and we do it through activities. Again, the co-curricular activities are planned in such a manner that they support the teaching in the class. You get me? For example, there's a certain theme which has to be taken in CREST. So we ensure that the art, the music, the dance, the singing, anything, sculpture, whatever could be attached to it, the math, the languages, everything gets integrated. So that has given us very, very good results. And we see children absolutely blossoming, because they are learning something, but they are learning the way they wish to. What we've just introduced is a Media Shala and a Maker Shala. Now these are again 2 verticals, if I may say so, where children who wish to go for any kind of media activity, whether maybe in future they wish to be DJs or whatever, they could be editors, they could be bloggers, they could be making games. They go into that vertical. Children who love to tinker, if I may say so, they go to the Maker Shala. So we are trying to give them a lot of exposure, but again keeping the baseline in mind that everything gets integrated and there is a learning in anything and everything to do, which again makes it very enjoyable.
Got it. For all the parents who are looking for good schools, obviously every parent wants the best school for their kid. And any sort of advice on how should a parent gauge a school? What are the factors that they should prioritize while looking for a good school? And any thoughts on that entire journey of parent looking for a good school?
See, as a parent, when my children were small, even I had to look for a school, right? Where I visited a few schools. But then I was very, very sure, even maybe 25 years from now, that I wanted a school where my child is not forced to do something that he or she does not want, right? And that school is able to support and blossom and work on my child's creative side also. Which is again, each one of us are creative somewhere or the other. I mean, and that is one thing I tell the parents, that make sure even when the children move to higher classes, they do not curb their creativity. So my advice to the parents is choose a school where your child gets a chance to learn new things, gets a chance to express himself or herself, gets to know a lot of things which are going around, and which is just not restricted to a classwork, homework, and test. I don't have any exams in the primary school. It's only in grade 5 that we kind of, because 6th onwards now, being a CBSE school, you have to follow the rigors, even though the CBSE says no exams till grade 8. But what we found was that no, the children must have some form of assessment, that is why. So again, giving the children that freedom to choose what they wish to do. See, by the time they reach grade 4 and 5, they are identified for their strengths, right? Be it academics, be it co-curricular activities, and that is where our work starts, where we start, pushing them towards the area of their choice. Which again, and one more thing I tell my parents, when the new parents I meet, always visit the school on a working day. You get the pulse of the school. That is very, 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 very.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And before we conclude, last question. What's the admission process at Manav, Rachna? Like, is there any criteria to get an admission in the school? What time of the year should the parent reach out to the school? Can you throw more light onto it?
We go public in the month of July, maybe after 15th July, where we open admissions. That is open for maybe a month and a half. The first lab is for 1.5 months, and now of course with a lot of regulations coming as far as the age criteria is concerned, that is again one thing that we are very, very particular about. For example, for a nursery, the child has to be 3 and 3 above. For K1 would be 4 and 4 above. For K2, 5 and 5 above, so that the child is of age 6 when the child reaches grade 1. Of course, as of now, the children who are already studying will definitely not be made to, if I may say so, repeat a year. They can move because again, the NEP gives us that liberty that by 2026, everything should be in place. So people who desire or who wish to be a part of us, they apply online, or they show their interest. We get back to them, we get the leads and we get back to them, and they are guided to fill up the registration form. And once the registration form is filled up, we call them for an interaction to the school. So it's a kind of an open house here where I meet, my counselors meet, my headmistresses meet, and we put across of what we all do. And then we take them around the school, because as I said again, I usually like to call parents on a working day. I want them to see a working school. So that is how we go out. And once the interactions are done, we definitely put it across to them about their intent for admission, and we give them a few days to pay off. That's it.
Thank you very much for your time, ma'am. A lot of insights and opinions that you shared will be of great help for parents who are looking for good schools in your locality. And on that note, on behalf of all the parent community, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Well, good day, ma'am.